It is Wednesday, June 21st, 2017. Welcome to another episode of Redacted. Brooke, it's good to have you back.
It's good to be back. What's going on?
Is it not good to have me back every week? What? What's wrong? Why are you especially mentioning that? What's going on?
I guess. I mean, if you're gonna put me on the spot like that.
Oh, I see.
I guess it's nice to see you, Bored.
Yeah.
Love you, Jack. I love you.
I love you too.
Missed you.
No,
Well,
it's
jealous.
getting weird in here.
You with need like a lady friend. It's like well jealous about immediately. I watch your streams. yeah. I watch your streams.
But you don't listen to any of our conversations before the stream.
What?
Oh, shots fired!
Oh,
Wrecked. Get
I
wrecked,
was
son.
busy playing Overwatch. Okay.
I know.
You were playing PUBG.
That's true.
Oh man, somebody's asking if Bored's already drunk. We really need to do a drunk. We would have.
Bored's drunk on life right now.
Yeah.
Bored's drunk on life.
I think we're all in a pretty good mood.
Yeah.
I would say exceptional moods today.
Yeah.
For
Saurus
all
has
of our
had a
different
baby.
reasons.
I'm
Yeah.
happy, and Twight got some or something like that. It's everyone's happy for different reasons.
Yeah. But yeah, so schedule report we got. Let's hit that first.
All right.
We got that.
No changes in the release windows.
No changes in the release windows. So it's potential as early as today. Unlikely, but it is a potential for it to come in as early as today.
It does feel unlikely.
Yeah.
And as late as what, the 5th of July?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Currently.
I would imagine it would be closer towards that. Like, I'm still on the right around Gamescom for like
A live release.
PTU release.
A PTU
Live
release
live
around
release.
Gamescom.
Yeah, like
Uh,
2.5.
I'm thinking
live
PTU
release for
at Gamescom
Gamescom.
last year. I would
I'm
hope.
thinking a live and then hot-fixed release for Gamescom. I'm thinking that we'll get a live release like mid-August, and then we'll have a big...
When is Gamescom this year?
End of August.
Yeah.
End of August.
August
this year.
20
Okay.
something.
Okay.
August
Yeah,
20,
that changes it because it was
21st or
it was
something.
around the 16th last year, I think, 15th, 16th.
Yeah. I think we'll have 3.0.1 for Gamescom.
Yeah, perhaps.
Genuinely. That is like a hot
Hey,
fix patch.
3.0.1 D.
Yeah, and if they're doing like any sort of like live streaming from there, they might have their own like little release or something like that, where it's a little cleaner or something. But I'm still kind of with it there. I guess the big thing about the schedule report is there was a lot of things that became feature complete, and there was a lot of it seems like things are getting done, and there was a lot less of, oh, well, this is delayed for another month, or this is delayed for X amount of time.
Oddly enough,
if something was delayed, it was just a few things.
I just got something in. Let me.
News just in.
We
Newsflash.
We literally
Do you
just
have
got
any,
it. We just got
Hold
it.
on, can we click? I'm gonna press on my keyboard.
This just in.
Okay, what is it? What the fuck is it?
I'm
Tell me.
gonna pull
It's
it up on
probably
stream.
like
here.
nothing. Too.
No, it is.
Okay.
It is something. It is something.
Oh, okay.
So it is. What the fuck? Hang on. Why is this being? Guys, I'm gonna put you all. I'm gonna put you all on edge for like a minute here. So just give me a second.
Do we still make the newsflash
Yeah,
noises?
just keep going. This just in from Will Leverett.
Oh.
Yeah. So, this was posted at 10:12 p.m. Hey, ladies and gents, no Evocati this week. We're working directly with production team on this, and we'll have an updated schedule this Friday.
Boom. There you go.
So
Boom.
not this week at all, which counts out tomorrow and Friday for sure.
Yeah.
So
I'm just always towards the end of every.
I'm
thing.
glad he did this, right? Instead of people like on their edge of the seats, like wait, because you know that's what people are going to be, right? Like knowing that we're in that window of time. Okay, is it today? Is it today? Is it? So now you know it's not going to be this week. So
Yeah,
everybody can sort of relax and look forward to Monday.
CIG are getting a lot better with knowing that they should give timeframes when they know them and say, this isn't going to be released yet. This isn't going to be released. That's fine. That's great. It's like, not this week, as soon as they know.
And
Like,
thank you
hopefully
to Zeus and Oxia for getting that to me.
I appreciate this. I hope they do that with Squadron 42 at some point. I hope they start saying, unless they've got a hard release date plan for it already, they start saying it's not going to be released this part of 2017.
I'm not mad that we got a delay. I'm expecting it, but I'm glad they told us as soon as they knew.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, and I want CIG to know that I appreciate that. You know, so if you're in here, I appreciate you. Thank you.
We appreciate you too, Saurus. Oh, was that CIG responding? Yeah, we love you guys. You're the best podcast.
I'm currently making a nice little spam in the chat.
Good job.
Are you ready? Are you ready, chat?
Right.
Bam. There it is.
Good job. Good job. All right, let's get back to the schedule report. We got halfway through it.
Yeah.
And then we were told that we're not getting 3.0 this weekend.
So there was
literally unplayable.
in the last update there were 4 things that were completed. There were a couple things, and they weren't. What was the biggest thing that was completed last week?
Derelicts and the Moby Glass.
The Moby Glass thing was the biggest.
Yeah,
one,
because
right?
a lot of the UI stuff was the most consistently delayed.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But that all was finished. Also, almost all of the ships were feature complete, but like they're leaving a little room for extra polish, right?
But so it's specifically just bugs that they've got issues with the
Yeah.
ships now. So they are feature complete, but they're buggy.
Yeah. So
and
a lot of
this
the
free work.
content type stuff is complete, and they're like adding a little extra stuff to it, like
Some lighting
cargo and
polish
things like that.
or whatever.
Yeah,
things like that.
it's not the there's been unforeseen thing. You know, it's a very different tone this week than it was in the previous few weeks.
There is still 20 something separate items that are incomplete. I think I counted 20. I think it was, and don't take my exact number here, but it was like around 25 to 27 things that aren't complete. And there were a few things that were added, and people keep bringing up to me, oh, of course it's getting delayed. They keep adding things in. Well, it's not that they're adding things in and that's what's delaying it. There's the things that need to be done, and that's delaying it. And they have these extra manpower that need to be working on something. So like, okay, we might as well get this in.
It's also sometimes the case that they go, shit, we also need this in to make all of this better or work.
Exactly.
Right.
It's not like they're like, damn, man, we really need to put fidget spinners in this game because that's the new fucking hot thing. You know, like nobody will play our game if we don't put fidget spinners. So it's not like they're doing that. It's like, you know, oh shit, you know, this doesn't really work as well as we thought it was. We need to have this come in and
we need
be ready.
to upload the physics code for this because bam, we didn't notice it until we made this build. And that stuff does happen. And some stuff, even when it goes to either CARTI or even PTU, isn't noticed, and they need to add a feature or they need to move bits and bobs around even at that stage. So even sometimes live, hence what fixes.
True. Don't give them any ideas. A Star Kitten fidget spinner coming soon near you.
So one of the new things they added as well was uninhabited, but previously inhabited thing. So it looks like somebody's been there. It looks like somebody was surviving there, and whether it's they've died or they've moved on or got rescued or done something else.
It's specifically because they want inhabited ones, but they haven't
They don't
finished
have
the
the
AI
NPCs,
for ground movement. Yeah, it's just that they didn't walk properly on the ground. They can't pathfind, I think.
Right.
So I think that's the only reason they don't have them.
But they want the structures there to be to look like, you know, and we've seen this with a lot of their demos where they have like a little crashed ship, but then there's some fabric and stuff sort of made out of a tent and whatever, things like that.
I like to feel that they're Sean Murraying us with sort of like there could be NPCs there. There might be NPCs. To new players that don't know there's no NPCs there.
Why would we ever want to get Sean Murrayed in any situation?
That's what I mean. It's like you turn up there and like, where are the NPCs? They're there. But they're not. They are.
I don't know what that laugh was, but please God, don't ever do it again.
I won't do it again.
We also got this this sneak peek, which I was not expecting. You know, we've been getting a lot of
Yeah.
like moon. Here's the planet side stuff, or the moon side stuff, or
And
here's
they
the
all
new
kind of
ship,
look the same.
or
but a
whatever.
little bit-
That does not look the same.
No. That was
No,
pretty scary.
I was hoping that it was a pet.
Yeah, it might be.
it may be. We
Why
don't
was
know.
like the friendliest little thing around?
You know,
Yeah.
What
and
if that thing just like kisses and cuddles up with you and purrs like a kitten?
you don't know. It's just like a
You
big
never know.
bulbous
It looks
brain
scary, but hey,
thing.
don't judge a book by its cover.
So I see
The other
this.
thing-
This has to fly or swim, surely.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing
It doesn't
too is
walk.
we don't have a banana for scale.
That's true.
So,
I don't know how big it is.
You don't know how big it is. Is it as big as a ship? Is it bigger than that? Is it
It's bigger
smaller?
than an inch.
Is it
UK away,
is
you
it
know.
the size of
Can I put an aurora inside of it? Is the real
right?
question.
Is it
Can
the
I
size?
store my auroras inside of this thing?
Is it the size of a human head? Is it bigger than that? Is it smaller than
No.
that? Don't know. There's nothing for a reference point for that, but it does look cool. It
Yeah.
kind of reminds me of, and I wonder if it's, you know, the skull we have in the
Of the Vandal?
no the hangar flare skull in the big tube.
Oh,
I wonder,
yeah, the big
because-
water creature.
Yeah,
It's a
remember
water
it?
creature,
Yeah, because this could be a water creature, right? And it looks
Yeah.
like it has like the skull that they had like a lot of these tusks or legs or something coming out of the bottom of it.
It reminds me a little bit of the brain bug from Starship Troopers from
Yes.
the side. Obviously, it's got the tail as well and the tendrils and no spiky thing for a nose, but it's kind of got that look. I like the fact I can look at a lot of this stuff now and see the inspiration for it.
From
in
yeah,
places.
where they're getting their inspiration from.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it would be
Certainly-
interesting to know
certainly
more
scary
about
looking.
this. Yeah, I would like to know more about said work in progress.
What are we gonna name it?
Frank.
Frank
Oh,
seems like a good name.
okay. CitizenCon tickets also have been announced.
Yeah.
They.
So
Oh yeah, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say that they're on. It's October 27th.
It is on October 27th, Saturday, July 1st, at 7 p.m. and 11 p.m. both Central Time. They're gonna have 150 tickets at each time available to concierge and subscribers only. Then on Sunday, 2nd of July, they'll have 150 more tickets available to all backers. And then at 11 p.m. on Sunday, they have 200 tickets to all backers again.
So I checked out the venue, which is the Capitol Theatre in Frankfurt,
Mhm.
and it looks fucking amazing. Like, this is the best venue they've ever picked.
It is
for what
small though.
was.
650 tickets is not a lot.
650 is not a lot, but
was
you
so
also have to
quick.
remember how many of that doesn't include employees, right? So how many
No.
employees are going to be there? Because I remember,
But they're not sitting in the seats, typically.
Well, I mean, look at CitizenCon last year. We were both there, and I mean, they kind of were.
But that was
Some
a
of them were.
much
Oh.
larger venue.
It was a much
For
larger venue.
CitizenCon, because there's going to be loads of CitizenCon viewings around the world, so you'll
Mhm.
have them in, like you'll have them all over the world where people are streaming the stream and like having.
Which I'm
fun
really
stuff.
glad people are doing that this year.
Yeah, but for me, I want those. That's for me is CitizenCon. I want a load of people meeting up around the world and watching this like the biggest CIG event of the year. Now, last year's CitizenCon disappointing. This
Yes.
year,
Mhm.
this
I
year,
don't think they'll disappoint this year.
I think it might be like the biggest one ever, in my opinion. Like it's there's so much movement in Star Citizen now. We've got 3.0 coming out. We've got Squadron 42
Yeah.
soon, and I think we're going to get hard dates possibly for Squadron 42. This is for me. This is sort of like if you can get a
Right.
ticket, get a ticket.
Get a ticket if you're able to go. Then go.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
I wouldn't miss out on this one. And if you've never been to an event like these, I mean, you're in a room with people that are all just like you, right?
Sweaty
So
nut virgins.
sweaty nerds,
That's my
but
name.
also like they're just into the same game that you are, and everybody can appreciate and the whatever, get excited about the same things you do. It's a awesome atmosphere.
And a lot of familiar faces, like all
Yep.
the employees and other
Mhm.
content creators and stuff like
And
that.
everyone gets drunk.
Everyone gets drunk, and the employees come and they talk to you like you're a normal human being, even though to you sometimes they're a little, you know, they have, even though it's a minor celebrity status, they have some sort of celebrity status with you, but they talk to you just like you're, you know, some other, you know, guy at a bar, basically. Oh, hey, how you doing? You know, and it's cool.
Yeah, they treat you human. They don't treat you as fanboying and fangirling. Like,
no, unless you act like one, you know. But
I don't know. The first time I met Sandy, I probably fangirled. It's like I didn't have to talk to her, and she was really nice to me.
I just talked to her normal. I don't know.
I was like, hi.
The first time I met Sandy, I was talking to her about. We were at Gamescom, and I was talking to her about how many viewers we had, and that we had more viewers than No Man's Sky that day. And No Man's Sky had just released, and how important it was. So they understood, like, guys, keep doing this stuff because I'm enjoying myself, and other people need to get to do this as well. So it was kind of like pushing that.
Moving.
She was intimidating because it's Sandy. It's scary.
Yeah. Moving forward, Sean Noonan has announced that he is moving on to some other projects. We don't know what those are yet.
Well, for the people that don't know who Sean Noonan is, who's Sean Noonan?
Sean Noonan was a regular on our channels in Twitch and stuff like that. Was working at Foundry 42 in Manchester, UK, working on level design, and most notably worked on the Star Marine levels.
It was originally he was there to do single player stuff, and he did the vertical slice. He did a large portion of Squadron 42, and then he got moved on to the multiplayer aspect, which I'm not sure if it's his normal thing. I think he'd only done modding levels for multiplayer for games before that, for multiplayer levels. But he got quite into it, and he was starting to do that level design and that level balance. He has his own blog that he maintains, and he talks about the level design and stuff he's done there. And Sean Noonan is one of the nicest gentlemen I've ever met, and really, really into choke points in levels. He'll talk for hours about choke points. Good job, Sean. But it's a shame to see him go. But I think he's done like all the work that he'd intended to do there, the vertical slice and the levels that he'd worked on.
So that being said, he was in here yesterday, and he is still going to be a familiar face, kicking around every now and then in Twitch. It's just he's moving on to, we don't know what projects yet, but we do know that he was working on something himself. I don't know if that's sort of started to ramp up or what is going on with that, but
check out his stream and say what's up.
Yep.
I know he's been doing like some game design streams and stuff.
Definitely wish him all the best. And then there's two more things that I don't know. I don't know if you want to cover these on the doc.
The Star 4C and the Crux Cup. The Star 4C that's the they had just done that pretty recently. Was the Star Citizen Competitive Combat Club. It's a 5v5 at Star Marine tourney this time. Last time it was Arena Commander, and it was, without being a professional production,
it was amazing.
It was really, really well done.
They ran
I enjoyed so
many games that day. They all seemed to go pretty damn well. They casted it pretty damn well, and it was a well thought out tournament that worked.
I think Star Marine would be much easier too to do this.
Yeah,
it's much more set up for what they want to do.
Yes, and this will take place on Saturday, June 24th, so in 3 days.
And the sign-ups finish tomorrow, so if you do want to sign up ASAP.
Yes,
ASAP.
And then the Crux Cup is a racing tournament that's been going on for some time.
Once a year for 2-3 years.
Yeah. And I would love to sign up because I love racing, but I don't have the commitment. I can't commit to it. I have commitment issues. And that is, I'll put the links in the chat for both of those.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And if guys, while we're doing that, if anybody has any questions in chat, please type in !! question. Click on that link. Fill those out. If you have questions for myself, Twerk, Bored, all of us.
Why did I get automatically deleted?
And
nobody posts links right now?
No.
I don't know why.
Okay.
Oh.
I'll copy it though.
This is the way we tell you're out of Redacted to work. Your message gets deleted.
Fired.
Camera goes dead.
No, it's okay.
Weird.
We're good now, though.
He permitted you. Okay, cool.
I got permitted. I think I could do it again.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it's like, yeah, the bot gets weird. ATV this week was in LA. It is. I don't know what that was, but
it was a motorcycle.
Yeah, sorry, I've got my window open because it's so hot here. I'm not closing it because fuck you guys.
Props and dressing. The narrative team have been creating the descriptions for all the different components and items coming in 3.0, as well as working out what props, items, and set dressings they want to see in individual areas.
So this is really important, actually, because this shows that they're pretty much done with a lot of it, and they're doing like a playthrough where they walk through and go, it'd be cool to have some cards on that table. These lights aren't working properly.
It looks too plain over here.
There's no light switch on the wall.
Yeah.
Like that sort of stuff.
Any of the decals, you know, around and things like that.
Exactly.
They'd also shown more into the cargo update. And I believe this was the Cutlass that they showed.
I don't know what the internal. This looks like an Idris to me.
No.
It looks huge to me. Does it not feel like
No, I'm gonna pause it right here.
Scale.
No, 100%. That's a Cutlass. I just paused it. It's 100% the Cutlass.
Hold on, I think I know what you're talking about. Okay, that part, yes. Yeah. I guess I'm talking about more. Is this still the Cutlass there?
Yeah, that's the Cutlass right here.
Wow, for whatever reason, when I kept looking at it, it just felt massive to me.
Well, I think this how small the crates are and how big the Cutlass has gotten inside, yeah.
Yeah, I was assuming that the crates were larger. We needed a banana.
Yeah, I also thought crates were going to be larger than they were. And this is also the Cutlass.
I think they're the 25 centimeter crates, I think. But they could be smaller than that.
Yeah, and you can even see in the side in the text there.
So these aren't like crates. These are like the boxes that you can hold and pick up.
Commodity boxes.
Commodity boxes. These aren't like, you know, in the derelict Starfare, those big like liquid containers. Like that's what I thought we were looking at. So when they started showing hundreds of crates added,
well, they're still calling them
crates. This must be a massive ship. Yeah,
they're still calling them crates, but they're like the size of ammo crates or something.
Yeah. Okay. So now that like that. I understand that now. It's very different.
That might be their one SCU. You know what I mean? So this might be the smallest, and so one crate is the one SCU, and then you can have ones that are 25. You could have ones that are 50. You could have ones that are count as 100, and so it could fit 4 or 5 of them in there. So 5 of them. So
for me, this little bit they showed here gave us a lot of insight for 3.0, which was that vehicles and other ships that you store inside are going to effectively be treated like cargo. So they will take up cargo space and they will lock onto the floor as cargo. But you can also put scavenged commodities and scavenged boxes that you've looted off other ships in place on the floor.
And you'll have less room for these like gridded cargo things. So like if you just put a dragonfly in the middle of the room there, you can maybe be able to put the crates on the right and left side of it, but where and I'm assuming some space around that dragonfly, you're not going to be able to place it, and the game should know based on like this grid system of where you can place things or where it will automatically place itself, I guess, as well.
Right.
So it seems like it's really coming along, and it's got some polish, and it seems like it works. At least the system of where they all box together and are clumped together and are square. It seems like that works.
Well, it's really important for everything that you want secure on the ship to be treated like cargo, so that you can use an app and the game knows effectively what you've got in your ship.
And manage it, yeah,
and manage it, exactly, so that you don't... So if you, for example, left a shitty box...
Well, they also need it
the corridor,
when we scan it.
Yeah.
Right? So if I scan that ship, I need to know what it is that it's carrying.
And Matt Sherman just said that green volume is a set of defined bounds determined for each individual ship. So I guess, you know, a guy like Matt would go in there and say, okay, well, you know, in the, I don't know, the... Avenger, yeah, that's actually the ship I was thinking of. It would be this size, and in this ship it would be that size. So, cool. Because obviously we have the smaller cargo crates in something like, you know, the Avenger or smaller ships as well. So I would imagine it would fit like 10 of these things, right?
Yeah, it was really cool to finally see that sort of come in action. We've seen them with the different size crates and stuff, but to see sort of what looks like the smallest size and how it sort of fills out and what 500 looks like. We have a general idea of what the size of the Cutlass is, right? We don't 100% have it, but we have a good idea. We have a good idea, and so that gives us a better idea of what everything's going to be like.
Sure.
They've been assigning moon stations and point of interest into the correct object containers for 3.0. And Grimhex, for example, is now inside of Yella's instance container, I guess is the best way of putting it.
Yeah, or it's object container because they're all just object containers or whatever.
There you go.
And and then they can like edit them now, so they show a bit of that in the loop that we have, much easier than before. So they save like tons of time with what they're doing. But I don't know. I think this is important, and why it's in the doc is they're starting to make the system, right, where it's not just these things placed everywhere. They're in their containers, and they're I guess functioning within their containers now, possibly.
Well, something.
So it's, and it's like getting there. It's like kind of getting. I'm starting to feel the hype. I've been trying to contain it, and now I'm starting to feel it. And this is probably one of the things that made me feel it the most. Is that once the object container things came in, that's like one of the big things that needs to happen in order for us to be able to land on these moons and all that stuff, right? So I don't know. This is one of the exciting things for me.
What I found really interesting was how they were talking about that the instance system was so instanced that even in the editor they had to work within the instance to get everything to work properly, and then they had figured out how to basically work on stuff outside of it and then bring it in to make things easier.
Of time,
especially with now much quicker.
So pretty interesting stuff to see with that. And then moving forward, what's next here? The rework of internal damage states to easier setup and now debug. And it sounded like this increased the ship pipeline even more. With what they were talking about. So
well, and I think what makes it really important is that I think most of Star Citizen, when Star Citizen is actually a thing, it will be like most of the I would imagine most of us would spend time on multi-crew ships, and in order to have like that level of immersion, you need those damage states inside the ship to understand what's going on around them while you're walking around, right? Like you would have no idea what's happening outside the ship unless somebody in the comms told you, if there weren't these states. So the fact that they can do them quicker,
cues for the guy in engineering that doesn't have a screen. But I love the fact they've simplified this. Like some of the stuff that they've gone, let's go crazy with, they've reined back a little bit because it doesn't need this functionality. We don't need to go crazy with it. We can just go, well, the internal damage states are just based on the full health of the ship, because that makes sense. The individual components will still get damaged separately, but it's just the internal visuals. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, and they can, kind of make it more complicated as time goes on, where, okay, you hit this component, therefore this component broke. But for now, it's however, more simple way that they want to do it now. And I agree with you. I'm happy that it's more
I think we're
simple.
still going to have that. I think we will still have component damage in 3.0.
Absolutely. But the way they said it before, it was like, well, if you missed it by a millimeter, then you wouldn't hit it. Like it seemed like it was a little too,
precise. Yeah.
Yeah. And the next part I found to be very, very interesting. I listened to it multiple times and I just skimmed right over it. And then when I watched it and talked about it, like started writing it with the doc, well, actually Board put it in the doc, but when I read it, it really resonated with me. They said they made IFCS more efficient and streamlined, and in the end, this should allow them to have more players in the server. And like, was the IFCS system that
so
bogging down?
So much data crunching.
Like what?
Yeah, because
And
remember, all that
why?
information is being sent to all players.
Yeah.
Of all the
and
ships.
It's on one, and it was
Okay.
all on like a small amount of your cores on your CPU. So they've offloaded a lot of that process now to make it more multi-core efficient, I believe.
Okay, so how I was looking at it was a little bit more, like how I read it, I guess, was that the system as a whole was just ridiculously unoptimized, in the sense
Well, yeah.
Welcome to Star Citizen.
Well, it was also not only unoptimized for players, but also unoptimized for AI, and they talked about that previously, where they're like, you know, we want the AI to actually use their IFCS like it's supposed to be, instead of us putting them on rails or doing whatever it is. We want them to be actually using the function of the ship how it's properly supposed to be working.
Yeah.
But
I was very surprised to see that, because I didn't think that was one of the things that was holding us back, you know, for players in a server. I had no idea that the IFC until this time, and I find that so interesting, because obviously we're flying around and the IFCS is always being used when you're flying around, right? And people are always flying around in the verse. But the fact that that's what they mentioned, getting us more players in a server, I was like, wow, okay. I would have thought it would have been a moon or a space station or a, I don't know, you know, the AI system or all sorts of things. But yeah, it was, obviously it's not the only thing, but I don't know. I just found that to be very mind-blowing to me, that the IFCS system was something that
it's no longer updated in lockstep with the physics thread. Because it doesn't need to be. It's isolated from the physics engine, so they don't need to do that.
That's cool. Cool.
But, yeah, well, we'll have to wait and see how exactly that performs in 3.0. I'm sure quite buggily.
Everything will be quite buggily.
All buggily updated.
The first couple of weeks of that are going to be pretty funny, I would imagine.
You can see stress on my face.
New quantum drives.
I will have zero stress. Yeah, I thought it was the new quantum drive. What do you guys think? They mentioned it. I wasn't even sure if I wanted to put it in the dock, but when you look at the difference, the little star or the space dust going by you is going a bit faster. Yeah. It's like less blue, so it doesn't feel as fake.
For me, it's more again that they've simplified something they could simplify. This is another thing that was trying to do too much. Now it just goes, rather than trying to work out with the objects in between and all that sort of jazz, it just goes, where is my destination point? Go there. Yeah. That's what I needed to do with it. Okay, if something pulls you out in the future, great. They've got a system to do that in the future. Yeah. Now just go there.
So it's essentially like a not a loading screen, but it's not worrying about anything else around it.
It's a lot more simplified than it was.
Yeah.
We do, however, see that it is missing a lot of its UI components, and that is something they are still working on and bringing in.
Yeah, because M50, right? And the M50 was the first ship that they did the items 2.0. I would imagine it has something to do with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall looks a little bit cleaner and better. Like I said, the big thing for me was basically the lack of the blue.
Well, I think,
and they have like.
I think the big thing that you're gonna really see is, you know how you kind of hiccup when you get out of it right now?
Right.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
I think it's gonna be a little more smooth coming out.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of the big difference, is to kind of fix that little hiccup that they have. And now we're getting into the ship section, which was, I think, probably the most informative of. I mean, informative, but it's
Star-Kitten Aurora skin.
Fuck off.
I thought it looked alright. Like,
yeah, I was
looking at it and went, actually looks alright. Fuck it, why not?
I'm gonna dress in pink and white and have the Star-Kitten weapons and
a lovely Star-Kitten tail.
I hope I can get like a helmet that has the 2 ears on it.
Oh, guys, I would like to officially announce my retirement from the Redacted podcast.
Oh, no.
I will no longer be spending time with these two.
If there are any other furries that would like to join me in Saurus for the Redacted podcast, please message us at dickpics@twerk17.co.uk.
Yeah.
What?
I like the Aurora though. I like the way it looks for a starter ship. Even though it hasn't changed much, it It looks good. It makes it a little more difficult to choose between a Mustang and an Aurora for me.
Okay. Yeah.
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 But the Mustangs are getting
we'll still have to
soon
see
as
their
well,
rework as well. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it may change once more.
True.
But yeah, it was kind of cool to see some more skins and stuff like that. What did they say? Something like 14 new skins, right? I wonder if that doesn't count the skins that they had, like the pirate and stuff like that.
I think they said up to 14 new skins have been made, which is interesting.
That could be 4.
Use of words. That could
or
be 1.
7. Yeah. Well, we
I've
saw
had 6 up to 14 times.
Oh,
it's 0.
It's like my Comcast internet. You have a chance to get up to this megabit per second, but you know what? Most of the time, we're just gonna say fuck you and drop all your frames.
To get connected to the internet.
Yeah, you have a chance.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about turtles?
I like turtles.
I like turtles.
I like up to 14
I
turtles.
saved it, off topic. I saved the turtle's life this week.
Did you?
I was driving home from work. Yes. And there was turtle in the middle of the highway, but because I work in the middle of the night, there was nobody on the road. Pulled over to the side of the road, ran into the middle of the highway, grabbed the turtle, put it in and it was,
Kirk risks his life for a turtle.
Put it in a t-shirt in my car and then put it in the lake. Because it rained so much here that there was flooding. No, I have one. It was the same kind of turtle that I have at home and in New Jersey. And it rained so much that there was flooding everywhere. So I think a lot of the aquatic life down here was ending up in places they wouldn't normally. And it was just once it dried out, it was trying to find water and it just walked into the highway.
Twerk 17, enjoy your stream.
So yeah, save that turtle's life,
Good job.
No.
Well done.
And it looked just like the spaceship.
Did it? Just like the Terrapin?
Yeah. I'm getting a star turtle skin. Yes, that's what I'll be getting.
Oh my god, I'd love tortoise shell.
I would love,
Terrapin.
Ninja Turtles skin would be amazing. But yeah, Terrapin's sort of coming along. Looks good. Looks cool. Back looks very detailed. The thrusters are a little bit different than what we normally see. Everything's very enclosed, which is I guess the point of the ship.
Yeah, and then you can dissipate the heat, and they kind of show that with the animations. I feel like I've been seeing this over and over again. So have we not seen these animations before?
I feel like we have.
I think we saw them last week, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and this is like the full set.
A sexy version of showing them, basically.
Yeah. Also, new stats page.
I think this is the best thing. I got good thoughts. I got good feelings. Seems like they're gonna keep them updated.
Now they have an idea of sort of what all the different components on the ship are going to be. And hopefully they're able to
compare stuff relatively to each other.
It would be nice if it's easy on the back end of this to update by CIG.
But it's going to be up to the minute, is what it's described as.
Yeah, so instead of them having to send that information over to Turbulent and then Turbulent fitting into their schedule to put it in, it's just something that they have access to at CIG. They can just go in and type in their information as they have it. It may be like that now, I'm not sure. But it is really interesting to see this. They have a little legend. I'm still they have a multiplier and a quantity. That'll get a little bit more cleared up as we start to learn more about it. But
yeah, but it's more detailed. I like where they're going. Did anyone expect the website revamp to look different? Every time they talked about. I don't know if it will, because look at the stats page. It's the same exact style, so I don't think they're going to change the style at all, which I'm okay with.
I just think they're going to change the navigation.
Yeah, I think so too. Just make it more simple for new players and more informational and less
there's people that have no fucking idea how to use that website. I hate it. It's so complicated for no reason.
Honestly, even I have a hard time.
If you guys could pick one thing to change on the website, what would you pick? What would you change?
I don't know. I think. Fuck. Let me go to the website.
Like, we know they have the new player guide coming in, right? Okay, so I'll go first.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I want.
Yeah, go first, and I'll.
If you're not signed in to your account, then all you see are starter packages. That's it. That's all. I don't think they should be advertising separate ships or these giant big packages. How
about if you don't have a ship yet? All you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If you don't have a ship yet, if you don't have the game yet,
but not a ship.
Yeah, if you don't have a game yet, all you see are game packages.
I'd like them to show, and yeah, if you're not signed into an account, it just signposts you to try and create an account and maybe some relevant information that will be like, this is what the game's about.
Yeah,
just that. But it's literally the navigation is the main thing that needs to change.
No,
you just look here and you just go, so what's going on here? I have no fucking idea.
Specifically for me, it's all about the ship page. There's too many things to go
overwhelming.
Through. Yeah, it should be very clear that buying ships only don't come with a package, and if you're only buying them, you can only buy ships without a package if you already have a package. It should just be very clear. And to be honest, I don't think you should be allowed to buy ships without a package.
No,
just fucking
unless you have one. Yeah.
Yeah, just
I agree.
They all cost the same. There shouldn't be two prices for the same ship. Just simplify it. You know, what's the point? You can come up with another system of deciding like how many character slots or whatever the fuck they want to do when there's a game like 10 years down the line when the game's out, right? So like when it's time to actually have there be a game, you could start thinking about that stuff. But simplifying things for everybody and what a game package is needs to be figured out much sooner and like yesterday, you know?
Yeah.
So
yeah. So I think we're kind of on the same page then.
It's mostly ship page stuff. Everything else is secondary, right? It's how do I buy the game? When people come to the website and they're new, they're really just looking for a little information on the game and then how to buy it.
Yeah, and that's obviously that new player guide will be a good introduction into that, right?
Well, we hope so. Like, I want to see and vet it. It's like, this is something that I want to go right. But hopefully it'll be.
Yeah, I have a feeling we'll be able to be critical on their new player guides to some extent.
Always will be.
We always will be. Yeah.
Moving forward, female transfer mesh has been created and the male's updated. These are going to be used for more high quality, accurate character deformation and skinning. So they have a few things in production right now.
Yeah, and this is just a long loop source for all these things. But I thought this was cool. It was just like a lot of character art stuff. We saw Jay Lee at the beginning.
Yep.
And then now what'd you guys think of those hairstyles? There was tons of them. Tons of them.
I don't. What do you mean? I want the bald one.
You don't want to.
You don't want luscious locks.
Yeah, like
down to your ass. Yeah, it was cool to see all the different hairstyles.
Yeah.
Hair's unnecessary, except for facial hair. Work.
I know I shaved. It's weird, but
you look so young.
The one thing that I want to be very clear is all these hairstyles that we were just looking at are in various stages of development, and so they're not all going to be there for 3.0. They're going to select a select few of them. Yeah, of those, and then we'll have those in game. So I think you can kind of tell which ones we're getting because they've been showing them a bit.
My favorite is this one, this hairstyle here, Eric.
The Eric Davis, right?
Haircut. Yep.
I really am interested to see hair in game because obviously the skin is of incredibly high fidelity, and so the textures when you get really close, hair is incredibly hard to do.
Yeah. This was something I found really interesting. There was this dress-looking thing at the
what
beginning.
The fuck?
But
it's like a scary doll.
It's like a scary
No,
doll,
it's
or
untextured.
it looks like it's
Is that
metal
what it
or
is?
something.
Yeah, it's unpainted, unskinned. So it's textured, but it's unskinned.
It looks like a scary doll from a fucking like.
Horror
This
game.
is the monsters that you find in derelict ships.
Yeah, just fucking ghosts.
Yeah.
Silent Hill, Star
Yeah.
Citizen hybrid.
Yeah. It was cool. And then we saw a lot of not Grimhex, but
Steuben Miners
and
BTU.
Nyx, the Levski landing zone stuff. So that one with the red and the green, I think that was just to show different parts of the thing. I don't think those were actually colors on the
Yeah,
the
no,
armor.
it wasn't like a 90s throwback.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think.
But I like the helmet with the one little monocle thingy. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, like night vision goggles kind of thing.
Yeah.
Almost.
So I don't know, lots of cool stuff that they're working on character-wise, and I think that's now that we're finally gonna have the first portion of like a game for the first time. It's nice that we're gonna have some customizability, and NPCs are gonna look different, and
I don't like the battle dress uniforms. I never have. Like I look at them and go, "Meh."
What don't you like about them? Because they look
I don't know.
relatively current, right?
Yeah. I don't like that style of military outfit.
Is it the hat?
It's probably the hat.
The hat as
For
well.
me, it's always been the
It's
hat.
the hat. Yeah, it's the hat for me too.
Yeah.
For me, it's always been the
probably
hat.
is just the hat.
Yeah.
It looks like a onesie flight suit that he's in, and then he's wearing a hat. So maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, just another friendly reminder that we do have questions at the end of the podcast, ! Question in chat. If you have any questions, get them in. Yeah, to me, myself, or Twerk. And then we had some news of a ship going on sale, which will be this Friday. Right?
Oh, Nox, it won't. Oh, fucking hell. Ben
Jesus
Lisnick now.
Christ.
I'm so sorry I'm leaving.
You're one of them. You're one of them now.
There's nothing wrong with puns, okay?
You're one of them.
Terrible. So if you want to, the Board Gamers created a post as well on the Redacted website. If you want to post that in chat, we'll actually get banned for that. That'd be hilarious.
I'm not fucking posting it. You're posting it in. You're going to post it in later.
Yeah, you'll post
so
it.
We'll get banned. We're getting banned, mate.
Okay, well I can't
Watch you get
post
banned.
because I don't have chat
Fuck
open.
Then everybody here will just have to go to redacted.tv.
Yeah, and you'll have to go look for it for yourself. It'll be easy.
Isn't
You guys,
Redacted.tv?
you guys
Isn't that to do with Call of Duty?
Yes.
Yeah. It's that new. It's the new free-to-play Call of Duty.
Oh my god, that sounds great.
Just go to the Discord and ask Sunday of Doom how you get access to the Redacted Call of Duty. I wonder how many people actually like search that in YouTube and come up with a podcast.
Probably quite a few.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the price? I was pleasantly surprised that it wasn't.
So what are we thinking it's going to be war bond wise? $30, $35, $35?
Which is what the Dragonfly was.
Yeah.
Right?
So they didn't. I was expecting it's an alien ship, so therefore it's $4,000.
It might be a one-seater no weapon ship.
Yeah, I don't think it has weapons.
Then it is probably alien taxed. And the $40 is the alien tax. I want to see a bike that fits in multiple ships. For racing, for multiple ships, that you can literally put into a lot more, and that it is just for transportation on the ground and moving around from ship to ship quickly. That you go like, I'll almost always take my Nox because it's sensible to.
What motorcycle would you compare the Dragonfly to? Would you like what style? Would you call it like a Harley?
Harley, probably.
Right, like a cruiser. And then
Drake would be more like Harley, and then the Nox would be more like Ducati or something, right?
Like a super bike.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. The images we saw of it were pretty interesting. As well, the teaser images that they had. I'm trying to see if I can find one here really quickly.
Mr. Epic Dragon said the Dragonfly is like a snowmobile.
The Dragonfly is like, yeah.
It's like a skidoo. It is like a skidoo.
What the hell is a skidoo?
Yeah, it's a snowmobile. That's a brand of
Yeah.
snowmobile. Listen,
okay.
Troik, listen, I know you guys.
We don't get snow. I don't know.
Yeah.
Everyone's got them in Canada, mate.
Yeah, dude.
I don't get snow. So
Driving them down the street.
Yeah, sometimes you have to.
So yeah, it looks like you have this big weird thing on the front. You know what? I'd be curious if the Nox, instead of having weapons, it has more cargo space.
So I think that
like a touring bike, maybe.
That's an intake.
Is actually what it is.
That's going to be a big intake at the front.
Or yeah, I mean, it could be a big intake.
Yeah.
But it looks cool. I'm just excited in general for like space bikes and like hover bikes on moons and planets and stuff.
Yeah.
Biker gangs going around.
I like that they're doing more of it, and it's not gonna just we're all gonna be flying dragonflies. You know?
Right, exactly. And so my next question then is, do you think they're gonna create space motorcycle for each brand, or for the brands that make sense for it to have?
No. So the only other one I think they might do is Origin.
Okay.
So,
yeah, Origin would definitely need one, and then I would imagine, similar to the way it is here, is that there might be a motorbike only company that doesn't make ships, and then maybe later on down the line they might, like 5 years from now they might end up making a ship or something, right?
Yeah,
they might move into the ship market, like it'll be a unique kind of style from everything
similar,
else.
or maybe you could work it into the lore of the Consolidated Outland, right? Their next ship is a motorcycle instead of a ship.
That makes sense.
It sounds very Elon Musky.
Yeah.
But so it's specifically, there's a Hyperion Rally, which Origin, Drake, and Apoa all sponsor, which is an open canopy race. It's a space bike race, and it just makes sense that they've got a Origin in the works planned. Maybe it's open canopy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is pretty much it for the doc, I believe, unless you have anything else you guys want to talk about. We're ahead of time.
Not quite. I mean, it's kind of, we're a little bit ahead of time because it was kind of a slow week. There was the happy hour was the Wing Commander 3 one, so there's not much to add to that. There wasn't too much.
I wish they were done. Those things were done entirely separately. Like, I understand that it's history of like Chris Roberts' games, but for me, it has such a tiny amount of relevance to what I want to see on the Star Citizen channel. So they might as well be showing Pong as part of that, saying this inspired Star Citizen because gaming started here. Like, I understand. I do love Wing Commander. I fucking love Wing Commander.
But wait till they do like Freelancer. If they get to Freelancer, that's when it becomes like really relevant to like Chris's vision of what the Star Citizen universe is. I couldn't believe it when I was playing Freelancer, just how much it was what I expected of the Star Citizen universe, right?
But that's exactly it. I feel that with those history things, they should have done Wing Commander as a single one,
perhaps,
and then moved on to the other games, because I wouldn't mind seeing his really early games as well, just as a single episode of Chris's work all on the Atari or whatever.
But it wasn't a happy hour show. It was something else.
Yeah, it was something separate, like that Ben was presenting as a separate extra thing, maybe.
Yeah.
On the community channel rather than on the Star Citizen main one, whatever. Yeah. But that's just me. I'm a spoiled child when it comes to things. I want it my way.
So just heads up, we only have 6 questions in the doc. So we're gonna probably go through these pretty quickly. If you have any questions, feel free to get them in. We will cover them as you get them in.
True.
First one is from Sigfist saying, I have all the capital ships. When the hell are they going to release the Javelin, Idris, and Polaris?
Well, they're not finished yet.
I think
the Idris might be close, but the
Javelin and Idris, at the very least, are literally finishing touches, it seems.
Yeah, they're not.
It's not whether those ships are final, it's whether the game can support multiple of them at the same time, and that's the big thing. Right?
I don't even know. It's also the fact of the Squadron 42 stuff that maybe they don't want to spoil it. That was one thing. I think it's more along the lines of what Sora says, but there is a chance that some of it is to avoid spoilery stuff.
They kind of said that they weren't going to hold that back for Squadron 42 if it was ready and working. They sort of suggested that. And they have shown the interiors so much now and exterior that if they use that it's because of spoiler reasons, I get annoyed almost.
Right.
Yeah, we've seen most of the ship at this point. I feel like we have.
And we just want it in game, like, but the game needs to support 2 of them fighting with fighter support. Otherwise, what's the point? We'll see derelicts of them almost certainly.
Yeah.
In 3.0.
Yeah. I expect to see derelicts of them right away.
Yeah. I mean, it's not much larger than a Starfarer, right? And we have those, so it was just a matter of doing the derelict stuff. I would think.
I mean, I'd love to see if they had the spare time and manpower to turn the Idris into a Star Marine level. Sooner rather than better. That'd be fucking amazing.
100%. I mean, it doesn't even have to be a Star Marine level. I would like to see that capture the Idris thing. Board.
Yeah.
Then it becomes a Star Marine game. It's a combo of Arena Commander and Star Marine.
And Star Marine, yeah.
One of the things that I don't like about Star Citizen is that when I joined and everything, I thought that the open development meant that we were going to get stuff in a really rough alpha state.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I thought untextured. I thought we were going to get white models.
But what I want is the ability to load in like an Idris as a level myself. That rough state and having to do stuff by console commands and but us having more open ability to do stuff. It's actually what I kind of prefer because I am a more I will happily toil and learn stuff to get the best results. So I want to be able to load in an Idris. I want to be able to load in a Javelin. I want to be able to fuck around with stuff even if it's not finished.
But maybe it should be a separate portion of the game in order to do that.
They try to make it too user-friendly and like a polished product. When it's
I mean, that tilts the hell out of me sometimes, especially when reading the schedule report where it's like, oh, we wanted additional polish for this. And it's like, for fuck's sake, like you're giving it to Evo Cati. You don't need polish. Like nobody cares about that, especially the Evo Cati. Polish it after, you know.
The issue is that they are so erratic when it comes to certain things. Some things are overly polished to perfect, like their level of perfection, and some things are just neglected. Like, and it seems almost random sometimes. Like we've had the problems with the netcode, we had problems with the missile flashes not going away. Like, that would be the first thing I'd fucking fix. The glare on the windscreen. There are some things that are just like, why haven't you fixed these? Compared to like, well, we're polishing this texture on the wall, and now it looks fucking amazing. Yes, it does look amazing. You are right. But I want the flashing little things to go away and all this sort of shit.
We have another question from Magnetron GW2. This is straight from the chat. I'm allowing him to skip the line. Does BoredGamer polish his head before the stream?
I don't always. Sometimes I can get away with it every other day. It just needs a little bit of a buffing. As you can see, look at the shine.
Nice.
Yeah, you can't see like reflections as good as you normally can, but there is a shine off of it.
Yeah.
To be honest, I thought originally that it was my head in the cockpit that was causing the reflection. It's because they're bald. Hair's going to make it a lot better.
Shit.
Hesingen says, what did you think about E3? Did anything pique your interest?
Worst E3 ever.
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
Did you not like Anthem?
Anthem looked... honestly, it looked like a mixture in between Division and Destiny.
And Warframe.
Who's making Anthem?
The people from BioWare.
The people who
exactly.
Yeah, well, they were the people. No, they were
it
was the people that should have worked on Andromeda, but instead we're working on Anthem.
They're working on Anthem.
Yeah, it's their A team from BioWare.
It's a little bit of like it's a cross of like Division, Evolve, lots of games that were money grabs, unfortunately, but it's got that sort of like Western Warframe element. Like,
in the end,
Warframe
it's
very
an EA
Eastern
game.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the look of it. I think it looks very pretty. And
that looked cool.
Battlefront 2, don't give a fuck. I'm gonna buy it and play it, but I'm gonna not like it after 20 minutes.
Yeah, well, let's see if they make any improvements from there. The VR stuff was kind of cool. I don't really like Fallout 4. I know I'm not very popular with that, but I am excited to try it in VR. Also,
I've never played a Fallout game.
I'm looking forward to, even though we didn't see any gameplay of it, Beyond Good and Evil 2. I thought that their trailer for that looked awesome,
might be good,
and I really like the theme of it. But I was really hoping to see some stuff from CD Projekt Red with Cyberpunk 2077.
I'm looking forward to Detroit Become Human. It's on the PlayStation, so I'll have to watch Let's Plays of it. But that I think's like a prelude to Heavy Rain. It looks very good. Or Heavy Rain.
PlayStation in 2017.
Yep.
Sorry, I mean some good games now.
It drives me nuts, the console only games.
Mate, I'm very communist with consoles. I'd like one console.
Yeah.
Because it divides at the moment. We've got so much division for like, well, let's get this an exclusive. Let's get this an exclusive.
I used to play baseball games. I used to love to play. It was called MLB, I think.
Yep. The show.
And no, not the show. The one that was on the Xbox. It was the EA Sports one. And then the show came out, and it's only on PlayStation.
Oh.
And I couldn't play a good baseball game. So I just
stopped playing.
That was it. I stopped playing, and I used to love playing baseball games. And like that stuff just ruins game. Like it's fucked up, man. It's fucked up.
Now,
that's my
PC. Cat of 4 said so a while back ago. CIG told us we would have 3 big releases this year, if I remember correctly. Do you think they will still make that in time?
I think we'll get 3.0 and 3.1.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, that's it. Maybe 3.1 for the holidays.
They'll certainly push for 3.2, and it will be like, it's a few months away.
They'll say 3.2 is ready in December, and then they'll push it out in August.
If they do that again.
Yeah.
This is an interesting year. 2017, the year of Star Citizen, right? I still think it will be, but
I honestly think it will.
Majority of the year, it won't be. It's really going to be like 2018 where you're playing it, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'll make videos about it fucking ever. I mean,
yeah. I know we're gonna forget about this entire year the moment we get to play 3.0. Like none of it'll matter.
Yeah.
Like no matter how buggy it is, all that crap, like it won't matter. But it's been a tough year. It's been a tough year as a streamer, especially. I know Bored, you have it a little bit easier because you can do news and like little quick hits on things. But
I can very much choose a subject, and there's lots of lore to talk about. Whereas if you did that on stream, you just have to have a website in front of you reading lore. Like it's for streamers that have got like, what is it, 4 hours of tangible gameplay on the server. How many times can you do that? Well, I've
every day.
Guys do that 20 days a week, 20 days a month at least. Like it's hard. That's hard fucking work to make it interesting. I'm telling you. So there's racing, and there's Arena Commander, and there's Star Marine, but we want that massive PU experience.
Yeah, I bought Star Citizen for Star Citizen, not for Electronic Access.
Okay.
Less so for Squadron 42, but I'm also obviously like super interested in that. But I bought in for the vision of Star Citizen.
I'm with you on that. It's just the things like Electronic Access or Star Marine or Squadron 42 are also good distractions. Anything that's related is obviously that's playable gameplay is a good distraction for sure.
Yeah, but it's a distraction from the game that we really want.
Right.
I guess is the point that I'm making. But yeah.
Cataphora says, how and why did you get into Star Citizen? How did you hear of it? And why did you decide to back it? I guess we'll start with Bored.
Go ahead, Bored.
2 of my mates basically were talking about it, and one of my mates, Wes, had spent like $3,000 on ships in 2013. And I was like, what the fuck? Because I'm very thrifty. I mean, I don't like spending money at all. And I was like, I don't understand. And I looked into it, and he was like, honestly, just try it out, play it. It's very pretty. And you like those, like the idea of those massive games and the economies in games. I was like, okay, I tried it out. And I was just doing Diablo 3 videos at the time as well. And I went, oh shit, no one's really making content on this. Fuck it. I'll start to make content. It got quite popular quite quickly, and I went, I'm going to make my channel about this. And then I got involved with the community and all the streamers, and started watching Twerk quite a lot. And I was like, oh shit, it's like this established Star Citizen streamer. Twerk actually one of my inspirations, and I started watching Saurus and Twerk on the stream, and it just kind of I got into the community, and then saw loads of the other people that were big in the community. I went, fuck it, these are just people. I'll get me fucking one of them. I can be the best one of them. Whoa. And then I took over the world.
Right?
That escalated.
Yeah, Torque's been like sort of half out of it. He's like, yeah, I'm up now. I'm good.
I'm going.
I'm awake.
What's that? Fuck. What about you, Twerk? How do you know about Star Citizen?
So I mean I believe I've talked about this before. I've definitely talked about Ultima Online before. I was playing Ultima Online a lot. I was a big online poker player, and then it became kind of illegal in the United States. So I stopped playing it. There was a bunch of sites that you could play on, but it was kind of shady, and you may or may not get your money back. So I was like, you know what, man, I used to love Ultima Online. Let me see if people still play it. They did, started playing. And on, it's called Stratix was the website that there was like a bunch of guides on how to make your characters and all that shit on Ultima Online. And somebody in the general forum posted about the Kickstarter. And I was unsure what Kickstarter was. I was like, wow, this seems like a scam. This guy just looks like he's trying to grab money. Like, cause I was like, what the fuck is Kickstarter? This is so weird. This is so new to me. I don't understand. So I didn't buy it then. I knew about it at the very beginning. I could be a golden ticket holder if I knew if I understood everything well at the time. And then I waited and I bought my Aurora LN sometime in 2013. I think it was like April 2013. And it was right the day after LTI went away. The day after LTI was gone, that's when I bought into it. And what made me buy into it was kind of the quality and Chris talking about the economy in Star Citizen. And when I saw that video, that's when I was kind of like, okay, this doesn't look like a money grabby, scammy thing. It looked like this guy's trying to make a game, and he didn't like go broke after making Wing Commander. Like, I didn't even know about Freelancer. I didn't know about any of those things. I thought he just made Wing Commander a long time ago and then went broke because Wing Commander 5 was shit. I didn't even know that he wasn't part of Wing Commander 5. So, yeah.
It was shit.
There you go.
Yeah, it was terrible. So that's how I got into it.
Yeah, for me, it was, I'd known about the Kickstarter, but I only had a laptop at the time. And it was...
I did not have a computer either that could play.
Yeah, I had an AMD
I knew
laptop
I was going to have to build one.
That I bought for work. And like web development and stuff, and just be able to like carry it around with me and whatever. But this was when I in May, well before that, earlier in the year, maybe January of 2014, late 2013, I decided I'm going to go into streaming. And I needed to build a new computer, more powerful machine anyways with the amount of work that I was getting. So I was like, okay, well, I need to build a new computer. I'd never had an actual gaming computer, like an actual awesome. I had computers when I was younger, but they were all just sort of, you know, Pentiums or whatever. And
I had a gaming laptop.
Yeah. And
What?
so
I'm gonna get a laptop as a spare.
I was looking for games that were going to really push the system because I had the best of everything that I could and get into it. And so I'm like, okay, what are the games that can push this? And I was like, oh yeah, okay, this is going to be something. And I remember seeing it and I was like, okay, well, I'll put some money into this. And then if things work out, then it is what it wants to be. And I remembered a lot of the older games. And I was like, well, if this is what it's going to be, then awesome. And so my first purchase was 3 Cutlass Black packages. One for myself, I bought one for my brother, and I bought one for one of my buddies who's now a streamer, Roxzilla.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah.
I remember that day, actually. I remember the day you bought it for your brother.
I bought it for my brother. Yeah, it was on my birthday.
Yep. I bought it. That was a fun stream.
Next questions from Raporua. Will the Avenger, specifically the cockpit entry, be fixed in 3.0?
It kind of seems like it. There was a few ATV. I think it was the last time I was on the podcast. It was that ATV that they showed getting in and out of an Avenger, but it wasn't the Warlock.
I imagined it would have to be fixed because if they're switching all the ships over to, they have to be switched over to item port 2.0. That would fix it. right? Like they would need all those functions to be working. So I'm gonna guess yes, but I mean, once again, you guys have to remember that we don't work for CIG, and we're just
unless they mention it, we're
just sort of making some educated guesses here.
Yeah.
Most of the time we're right,
facts out
but
of
not
our
always.
ass.
And pulling facts
Yeah,
out of our ass.
a lot of the time we've been right.
Yeah, about a lot of things, but
we've been fucking dead wrong too.
Yeah,
a few times.
Sunday says, did CIG ever mention if you have to carry the various size cargo containers on board before going to a location, or would salvage and objects just spawn inside of a crate that is an appropriate size when you bring it into your ship?
So once you grab from other people's ships or on missions, you literally have to carry them to location.
Like if you're salvaging from a derelict ship, I think that's why they worked on all these animations recently, right? Is because they want you to place them in there. I can't imagine we would be placing in 500 of them. I think the 500 crates is for when you buy them from a kiosk.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, would you agree, Board?
It's possible that when pirates attack you and disable your ship and go over to your cargo, that they can somehow transfer or do something to the commodities without having to steal your ship. It's possible, but I think they would just steal your ship.
Yeah, and that would be some hand-wavium fuckery stuff for right now, and that would likely change to be more immersive and proper later if that's what they do. So, I don't think that they would do something like that.
Hand-wavium is short for hand-wavium fuckery stuff, and that's actually what it's short for, so.
Yes.
Pappy asks, with the Terrapin having so many animations now in, do you think the Vanguard will get some back it lost during the rushed release?
I imagine
variants. Yeah. So yeah.
I imagine with items 2.0 and working on the variants that the your Vanguard will be fine. Don't worry.
Now this next question also from Pappy was something that was brought up to me yesterday. And yeah, it's been asked a few times. The question is, there's been a lot of talk on the forum on the game changer. Ben slipped out of his mouth on Ben's Day. What do you think it is? I don't think it's anything. I think it's a buzzword. And I think that the only ship that's a game changer will be any of the capital ships, because that's what they are.
So this is specifically relating to, I believe, the latter half of 2017.
Yeah.
After this current ship and the 600i, everything else is planned to be non-military or non-combat. So we're going to see probably civilian.
It's a new role.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's some sort of a new role.
Mine layer, tugboats.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's the tugboat, because they actually talked about that earlier in Ben's Day as well, and they said that the Crucible started off as a tugboat, and then became a repair ship.
A submarine. Hurricane guessed in the chat. That's actually a reasonable guess.
Sorry.
A submarine. It would be something that's it would be something that's completely out of this world, not expected, game changer type of ship, maybe. Right? Just something crazy like that.
I don't know. I just think the term is so buzzwordy and gross. Like,
it's buzzwordy, and it's coming out of Ben's mouth.
Yeah, and it's coming from Ben.
Ben has, with you always have to remember with Ben, I love Ben, but Ben has a history of being very confusing, very he says things and they don't always happen.
Right. I wouldn't look too much into it, to be honest. I think a lot of people are trying to disseminate that information and try to pick it apart. I wouldn't be wasting my time.
Yeah.
Personally.
Like, I don't want to disrespect Ben, but
it might be a new role or a new mechanic or something.
Yeah.
Game changer is very relative to the person saying it.
Yes.
But we can expect some probably quite interesting ships that aren't the same old combat ships anymore. So look forward to that. Probably once every 6 weeks they'll probably start doing a concept ship. So I know people get angry at concept ships. I like them. Sorry.
Yeah. I guess I'm not letting Ben go for the Cutlass thingy.
And you shouldn't. You should hold. Fuck you, Ben, when you see him. Fucking cut this thing. You say stuff.
I should probably just let it go.
You should let it go.
And I'm sure there is a game changer coming. I don't know.
Oreka,
I don't know why he would say it.
22 has a question for Board. He says, "Hi guys. I'm sure Board said he's doing another Foundry 42 studio tour soon. That's correct. What work update?
Next Friday.
what work update are you most looking forward to seeing progress from? And then he says, great show all, keep up the great work.
So in general, progress on ships, because I get to see ships that might not necessarily, they might be game changers. They might not necessarily be in public view for a while. So when I saw the Reclaimer for my last tour, I went, I'm buying a fucking Reclaimer. Like it was, and there's a lot of stuff they haven't showed from the Reclaimer yet that looked pretty finished for me. And I was like, yeah, that was such an exciting ship for me. But so any of the ships that they finished or new ships and stuff like that, I'm trying to think of stuff that I can talk about that was very beautiful last time. Some of the stuff that they're doing to make space look better, I want to see how that's developed for beyond 3.0, because they want to make space look visually appealing. So there's a lot of stuff that's going to look fucking amazing, like, oh my god, nebulous, oh my god, cool things. So I don't really know what I'm looking forward to the most, because I have to see it. If I did know what it was, then why would I go?
Yeah. Pappy has another question. As well. He says he finds it difficult to buy a fighter. Light, medium, and heavy all have perks and like ups and downs, perks and nerfs. What would be a good all-round fighter?
I mean, you pretty much... We can't answer that. We can't. There's no way to answer that question until the mechanics are in the game where bombers are relevant, or the light fighters are balanced against the medium and heavy fighters better. They're probably going to be, for an all-round fighter, Hornets and Sabres. Like, yeah, I would imagine.
Hornets, Sabres, Buccaneers.
Yeah, they're kind of all-round fighters. I mean, they're quite high tier. They're good at fighting. You've got to be able to customize them. That
we're saying on June 21st, 2017.
Yeah. As of now.
Yeah.
But that's their intended role, is to be good fighters for dogfighting. Assuming he was talking about dogfighters rather than just fighters. Like if you were going for a specific fighter, I like vanguards. So,
right.
That's just me.
Our next question is from Crimson Fire for Twerk. How likely is your distaste for Star Kitten hiding a secret love for the current and upcoming merchandise?
Can someone buy him a Star Kitten love pillow?
Yeah.
Please.
Star Kitten.
I've already been bought a
pillow.
hentai anime body pillow. Like when I first started streaming, Clifford and a bunch of the viewers, I have to hide it every time my family comes. It's just like two naked.
That's even better.
Girls.
You know what's even better is that he hides it, and then
Yeah.
somebody's gonna go look for a towel or something. They're gonna need to go shower. Find it. They're gonna open it, and it's gonna be like, you know, like he's just started seeing this girl. She just started staying over a little bit more. She opens the thing, and it just fucking falls out on top of her. Amazing.
He falls down. Oni-chan! Oh god.
It's awful. But it's so comfortable that I don't want to get rid of it. I sleep with that fucking pillow every night. I love that pillow, but I just... Yeah.
Oh, I know. I've seen others love pillows before as well.
Wow. Iggy Pie says, what do you think about the PvP slider? Yeah, no discussion in the community. Irrelevant.
It doesn't exist.
Doesn't
as
exist.
far as we know.
It doesn't exist.
The PvP slider in-game is going to be some systems are safer for PvP than others, and other areas are very much PvP encouraged. That is your PvP slider. Enjoy.
There you go. Sonic Baz says, have CIG provided any update to incremental patching? They have talked about incremental patching. The last thing they talked about was it had been deployed to all of the employees internally. I imagine it's no good to give to players or the backers if we don't have any patches to use it with. So I imagine Evil Cotty will be the first people to see the new Delta patcher.
I'm expecting it
with 3.0. Yeah.
Yes.
And as they roll it out to Evil Cotty, and then when it goes to PTU, they reel it out to them, and public, it goes out to them as well.
So normally it's part of the Spectrum update or the Austin update, but more recently it's been part of the Frankfurt update, which suggests to me that it will be done soon.
Yeah. And then, yeah, hopefully we'll start to see more frequent, smaller patches.
Oh,
Inca
please.
Says, when do you think the Reliant Sen researcher will be sold again?
Gamescom?
CitizenCon?
When do they do big sales?
Anniversary?
Christmas time?
Anniversary. Those kind of
Do
sales.
they do Gamescom ones?
They do Gamescom sales, but I believe they're select ships. They're not.
When was the Galactic Tour? When was the Galactic Tour?
Galactic Tour was the anniversary stream.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I believe.
I can't remember.
Yeah, Galactic Tour was the anniversary stream.
So it makes sense. So this year is probably going to be the last time you're going to be able to buy some of those ships at all. Like you probably get flight ready sale on some of them, wouldn't you?
Yeah. And if it's the last time you're going to be able to buy those ships, they better tell you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
They better. And I imagine they'd be stupid not to, right? Because then everybody's just going to go.
It will certainly be the last time you can buy a lot of those ships at the cheaper price.
Yeah.
So the non-flyable price. So.
Jeff Murr says, "Are you all of the opinion that CIG will have to show a vertical slice of Squadron 42 this year at Gamescom or CitizenCon?
Yes.
What will be the fallout if they don't? What excuse would you accept if they don't show it?"
As long as they show, they don't have to show the vertical slice.
No.
They have to show something, give more definite stuff. Like Squadron 42, I want to know when it's planned to be released at the moment. I don't want to know.
Want a vertical slice? A trailer or something would be all right.
A solid trailer would be fine. A more polished, finalized vertical slice would be fine as well. It would be. We need something tangible and good that we can all say to people.
And information.
It's fucking good. Something that they wouldn't be ashamed to show at E3.
Yeah.
Basically what I'm after.
Cool. Mori Ataku says, "What do you guys hope for from quantum interdiction?"
Oh god, that's going to be a long conversation.
But they've talked about how they wanted it to work.
Yeah, so it's going to be like a net, and the larger
like
the
a
net
gravity
you
well,
use,
right?
Yeah, and the larger one that you use, the further away they might end up.
Which is bad for you because they can signal stuff, they can get away, they can spot the warp engines again or whatever. So you want to do it as tightly as possible, but in a way as possible. So the idea for gameplay would be you can analyze people's trade routes, you can analyze where their nav beacons are, and then you can set up traps along the way. And then you can do obviously quite a focused one because, and then they come up next to you and you both to blow up their ship or go, give us all your stuff or we'll kill you. So the idea is planning will get you good results as a pirate.
Next question is from Hurricane. Any idea when will worldwide servers be available for people living outside of the EU, Australian, and US zone?
So they've got the infrastructure to do worldwide servers now with Amazon stuff. The Amazon Web Services is scalable to anywhere they want in the world. Give them time to actually have something that's server meshed and requires that. At the moment, they're just testing a load of shit. And yeah, it's stressful for some people. Some people are getting a load of shitty ping and lag. The game isn't ready. You're not missing out on that much. It's cool, but it's pretty. You can enjoy the prettiness even with lag.
Yeah.
Soon though, like not in the.
And also remember that they are using Amazon servers, so you can look now and see what servers are available that they will have access to, and that is what they're going to be confined to. So keep that in mind as well. So if you're not sure, you can do a quick Google search of where are all the Amazon servers. Our next question is from Inca for Twerk17. I asked this last week, but you weren't here. Do you think CIG will ever implement foot movement and EVA bind options for a joystick?
I don't know. I think it'd be weird. I don't think it would be intuitive at all. So,
did we determine whether you can or can't do that? I thought you could just do that.
Maybe you could do it now.
Yeah, I think you can do it now.
I think he's asking because you can't. I'm sure maybe he's tried.
You can certainly bodge it to work using
it'd be super weird
rebind tools and stuff.
How about this? Think of Titan armor, right? Titan armor is like big fucking armor, and every like Titan
like a mech warrior.
type, like, and all of them have had basically two joysticks, right? That you're moving around. So maybe.
I'm gonna have keyboard and mouse and gamepad next to me at all times. And I might use the gamepad to drive the Dragonfly, Urza, and Mech Armor, maybe. And it's whatever's going to be more comfortable to do. I'd love to have a HOTAS and stuff and throttles and stuff around me next to me, but it's going to be so difficult on certain ships to jump off and get into first-person shooter mode. Like, to put your HOTAS to the side. I haven't got enough room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a hard enough time with the HOTAS and the mouse and keyboard right now.
Our next question is from Galactic Surfer. He says, an interesting story plot in the Ernest Cline book, Ready Player One, is that an MMO evolved into a large virtual society with its currency being the most stable in the world. Do you think that Star Citizen has the potential to become so big of an immersive VR environment that it could affect society in a similar way? Nope.
No. Not at all.
I think that's pipe dream book stuff.
Does
VR
affect society?
Very different than what it is now in order for Star Citizen to have VR implemented enough to make you be able to walk around and
if you I've read that book. Insane. If you've read that, you'll understand that it's like you have one-to-one movement with everything. Right?
Yeah, it's not Star Citizen that isn't super immersive. It's that VR isn't immersive.
VR is definitely not there yet. We are still way too in the infancy stages of
getting there. It's getting there.
Of that.
Compared to the 90s, I remember 90s VR.
Inca says, "Do you think maybe the game changer is female characters?" That's not a game changer.
No.
It's not a game changer.
Specifically a ship as well, I think he was talking to.
Yeah. Little Bit of Madness says, do you know the reason why they have ships like the Super Hornet and Shavers and M50, etc., which are all finished people have in game, and we can't get to buy constantly unless they do special sales?
Because they're good at marketing and they know people want them when they do burst sales.
Okay, let me ask you a question, guys. Like everybody that not YouTube, but everybody in general, everybody that if you found $100 lying on the ground, would you fucking pick it up?
Yeah.
Would you pick it up?
Yeah.
So why do we keep giving CIG shit about picking up millions of dollars that are just lying on the ground? That's basically what's happening. There's millions of dollars just sitting out there, and they're picking it up.
See now,
and they're taking that money and making a game that hopefully we're all gonna love.
I also like to put a suffix on this that I pick up $100, whatever. Not that it's the currency of my country. Be like, oh, what's this?
I found $200 under my couch yesterday.
Jackpot.
Did you pick it up?
Fucking awesome.
It's still there. It's still there under the couch, not touching it. No, no. But if it was in like an old people's home, or a specific, like a special needs center or something, I would turn it in. I'd be like, I found this on the floor. But if it was just like in a supermarket or on the street, I'm keeping that fucking money. Okay. Yeah. So good job, CIG, for finding $151 million on the floor.
That's essentially what they did, right? They found this, like, they're the only people that like tapped this ridiculous market of all of us that are just insanely ridiculous and bought ships.
No, so I mean, I quite like the marketing that CIG employs. It's effective. It keeps people hyped. It keeps on making them build more and more ships, which I do want in the verse. It's just people need to see progress in different ways. People get angry about concept sales because they're like, well, I didn't realize there was going to be concept sales when I started purchasing, and I constantly, or I was expecting the game to be further along, and that's because there's not that much information available easily to people to understand that. They'll see a concept sale and go, why are they still selling concept ships? It needs to be explained in those concept sales what's going on at the start of it rather than the bottom of it. You don't need them, stuff like that. So it's just an information thing.
Our next question is from Crimson Fire. It says, with the players being able to use their own nav beacons, would quantum interdiction become way too complicated to put in? So there would be the main travel lines, but someone could easily avoid those.
Yeah, but someone can easily detect those nav beacons and then lay a trap. That's why the nav beacon system's great with interdiction. You'll be able to go, I know that people will be traveling from here to here. I can lay a trap for them. Fucking great.
Yep. And the other thing too is there's work involved with that, right? It's not just whatever. you know. So
wow, 20 more questions just appeared. Good job.
Our next question is from Neo Onyx, and they said, you mentioned CIG wanting to have 3 major patches in 2017 with the possible inclusion of Delta Patch 3.0. Will the idea of major patches become a moot point? Am I thinking CIG will be able to patch at will anything they want when they want? I think that major patches will still be a thing, but that we will be able to get updates to minor things. So say they have clothing or some new weapon skins or new ship skins or
a single new ship,
a new mission or something like that. They can implement that in as it comes in.
But you'd still get major patches such as jump points, new systems.
Yeah, and a lot of things would come in
races,
with those that are reliant on other things that are coming in with those. Like, for example, 3.0, so many things are coming in together because they're reliant on it. Like all the ships needing to be item 2.0 is reliant on the way that they need to do cargo, and they need to do their jump, their quantum, and everything else. Everything else. So I think you'll still see major patches, but I think you'll start to see. Hopefully, we will start to see minor patches more frequently.
The difference is we still haven't seen a major patch yet. Like, what a major patch will be like a story arc that happens and a new area opens. We found, a whole section of space behind the Xi'An. Like, that's what major patches will be in the future. Like, what a major patch is now is, oh my god, cargo's coming in. Like, it's our concept. Like, this game is so different from every other game that like, yeah, of course there'll be major patches, but it's, I don't know, I just look at it differently. Like, I'm looking at it as a finished game. We'll definitely have major patches and then incremental patches in between, and we'll have similar things now while the game's being developed. But what a major patch is now will never compare to what a major patch might be. They'll basically be like sort of expansions, right? When the game's released.
Right. Yeah, so that's it for our questions today. Twerk17, where can people find you? What are you up to?
You guys can find me at twitch.tv/Twerk17. I'm going to be playing a bit more Star Citizen. I just enjoy the community too much. Like, every time I play, the discussions with chat are just better than when I play other games. And so I'm just going to play that, mix in PUBG, mix in other games, and just have fun.
Have you tried the Dragon
on Twitter
game?
Also? I haven't tried any. What game?
Type in !point dragon flying in my chat.
Oh, yeah, I beat it already.
Okay.
A while ago.
Well then.
Boom, done. Bro. It's become a horse. That's how pro he was.
Apparently.
No, so yeah, that's pretty much what's going on. You can find me on Twitter at Twerk17Gaming, YouTube as well. The YouTube, I will absolutely be, as soon as 3.0 comes out, it's just going to be like guides, how to do this, how things function, a lot of that. I'm stepping on them toes, BoredGamer. I'm going to flatten them. I'm going to flatten those toes. No, you know my kind of guides are different than yours. The ones I did about the radar and Star Marine and weapons and stuff. No, they are not shit. Please. My radar was
Your radar one was good. Your radar one was good, man.
Yeah, that's right. I got BoredGamer approval there, boys. You hear that?
Yeah.
I'm really famous now. So yeah, what are you up to, Bored?
So you can find me, BoredGamerUK, on all the social medias, on the YouTubes and on the Twitches. I am streaming more regularly again now because I feel happy and not shaky and not like a twat. And I'm feeling like a million times better. Today's stream or podcast, whatever, has genuinely been probably my favourite with you two. You're both really happy. I'm really happy. It was good. It was a good podcast. I really enjoyed it. I've got an Oculus behind me, which I haven't unboxed yet. It literally arrived today. I am going to be sponsored by Oculus. Although that's not going to change my opinion of the games. I'm going to do a review of the game. I'm going to play around with the game. I might do 10 to 15 minute videos. I'm not going to do Let's Plays unless the game is fucking amazing. I've also started a second BoredGamer channel called BoredGamer Extra, which will have all of my streaming VODs on, games that aren't for the main channel. So it might be Star Citizen related occasionally, but it will be other random games. Some VR
Overwatch,
stuff in there as
a lot
well.
of Overwatch.
Overwatch, Rust, 7 Days to Die, survival games, all multiplayer co-op stuff. Because I only really play multiplayer co-op games. But yeah, so I will link that in the chat actually because I want everyone to sign up to it because I think I've got like possibly 1 subscriber at the moment because I started the channel today or yesterday, and I feel lonely. Don't you dare ban me, you fucking sore spot. Don't you fucking dare.
It's gonna happen.
No, we're good. We're good.
What the fuck?
What about you, Saurus? What are you up to,
Why did I get banned?
Yeah, I am. Well, I have a new puppy. So for those of you that don't know, so it's like having a baby. Well, it's literally having a baby in the house. So my schedule's sort of been all over the place, and I mean, I've still been able to start on time, but our streams are gonna be pretty short. I'm still gonna be doing a 24-hour charity stream when it launches to PTU, and we'll be doing a bunch of really cool stuff for BC Children's Hospitals. But yeah, I'll try and fit in some IRL streams in the evening here and there. But yeah, a lot of my time is taken up by the new puppy. So hopefully that won't be too long, maybe another month or so, and then she'll be able to be on her own and not worrying about her destroying literally everything. So my little Maligator. But yeah, thank you so much, guys, for coming by. We will see you next week on Wednesday. Make sure to come by. Hopefully we'll be able to talk about some Evocati
or something. Yes, like
yeah, we're getting
close to that more this Friday. This Friday schedule report. Check it out. Be there, be square.
I think it's gonna be a big one. Yeah.
All right, guys. So thank you so much, and we will see you guys later.
Bye, everybody. Great to be back.